Okay. Last out-of-the-box innovation for SAP Business One is cash flow forecasting. So what is cash flow forecasting? Cash flow forecasting is you will be able to complete, accurate, and timely picture your cash flow. Those purchase order and sales order, which is a recurring posting, that you can also include this in your cash flow reporting. So if you want to forecast your cash flow, so you might consider those incoming potential sales order, which will increase your cash flow. Also, it contains sophisticated calculation to help you to access payment probably. Okay, so let me just go to my demo. Okay. So in today's financial environment, so it is critical to accurately forecast your cash flow. So in SAP Business One, for SAP HANA, delivers powerful capability for cash flow forecasting and analysis to ensure that you have cash needed to run your business and if you seize new opportunity as they arrive. So as the CEO of this particular company, as example, I'm looking into an investment opportunity that requires an initial outlay of $2,000 for the month of October. So I will go to my cash flow tool, as you can see here. Okay, for the month of October, I only have 175, so I don't have enough funds to see or to use for this particular opportunity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my unconfirmed sales order. So I'm going to my configuration. I will lower down my sensitivity level for forecasting, which will include open sales order. Then now I will be able to review my balance for October, taking into consideration those unconfirmed sales order. Then now I can see that I have enough for this particular investment opportunity. So to follow up that particular unconfirmed sales order, I can see a big spike in my potential revenue here, as you can see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to narrow down my timeline for this particular cash flow trend for only the month of October. So now you can clearly see that there is a spike in the potential revenue for this particular sales order. Okay, so I can drill down on that particular sales order. So now I can see one of the sales order, which is the biggest sales order here, which is 550. So I will drill down on that particular sales order. I can see from Norm Thompson, and it's being handled by my sales manager here. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to make sure that this delivery will go. So I go to my delivery schedule here. So here that I can see that this particular delivery is confirmed. Okay, you can see the quantity is confirmed and there will be no delays. So I can brief my sales manager to ensure that this particular orders goes through in October. So this is just only a simple example that shows the powerful capability for cash flow forecasting and analysis for SAP Business One for HANA. Okay, so this is the end of my demonstration. So we will open for questions, Q&A. So for those of you who have questions, you can ask now, or maybe you can just type in on the chat box. Hello? Hello?
Hello. I have one question. For the search and filter, can you add user-defined fields in the filter or search as a search key?
In the enterprise search?
Yes.
So you're asking whether user-defined field is available.
Yes. When you search in the result, can you filter by user-defined field information?
At the moment, moment, user-defined is not on this enterprise, but we did share this to SAP technical people inform us that the future plans add in this particular user-defined table and user-defined fields. At the moment, it's not available, but it's part of the future and updates of SAP for HANA to include these transactions or master.
Thank you. My other question is just curious. You showed that there's a top 5 customers. When you told me some information, it shows that SG Computer is one of the top 5 customers. What's that criteria? I mean, what's that based on? Is it?
It's based on their. Let me just open it. So it's basically their sales amount or their turnover. This we can define on how do we do our analysis in our query or when we build our OLAP cubes in SAP Business One for HANA.
So we can we can define whether it's top sales amount within past 5 years versus past 2 years. Is that may change? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends on how you want to present your analysis and depends on what is the content of your query. So as you can see just now when I created my dashboard here in my dashboard designer, okay, so let me just go back here. So these are my, let me just see.
Oh, that's from this query?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, okay.
So I just create a simple query. Imagine how HANA can translate this information into a more meaningful information for your day-to-day decision making.
I think the design dashboard designer is pretty cool. So
Yeah.
does it require HANA?
Can you repeat again?
Does the dashboard designer require HANA or it comes with SAP 9?
This dashboard designer comes out of the box from SAP Business One for HANA.
For HANA.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a built-in innovation or out-of-box innovation for SAP HANA.
Adam?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have one more. Hi, good morning. My name is Igor. Quick question. Our existing add-ons, will they work on HANA Edition as well?
Okay. This particular add-ons is a third-party add-on, right?
Yes, it's in-house written add-on. We're currently running it on 8.8.2. Is there going to be any additional, redevelopment required to run it against SAP for HANA?
Okay. First is basically the database of your current SAP Business One has to be updated to HANA platform. SAP provided a tool for that one. Second is your add-on has to be recompiled for HANA DI API or.
Okay, so we're going to change references to the new DI API, and this way we can see if it still compiles and runs?
Yes.
Okay. And one more question. I saw you do really neat trick with Excel to HANA. By that, am I assuming correctly the access to HANA data is some sort of web service?
Yes, it is. It's using the, SAP Business One for SAP HANA technology comes with applications. Okay, they call it Tomcat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's built in SAP HANA.
Okay, and the format for that is XML or JSON? Just like where can we Maybe you can point us to some articles on data exchange format for queries.
You can send them some information. I can send you some information, so I'll get your details from Eleanor or
You can probably send to Mike, he'll forward.
Or maybe you can help me just to type in your email on the chat box, then I will be able to get your information. Sorry about that. It's cool, right? Interactive analysis. Imagine that if you are a user, in order for you to build this analysis, you require your IT consultant or your in-house IT to build this all that for you. You don't need vendor to build this cubes for you. We just need to predefine analysis that you require. So we can just publish that into this interactive analysis. So after that, you will bring it to this particular Excel representation. So all of this information on the right side are coming from a predefined OLAP cubes from SAP HANA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so define within SAP, but then we can query from outside SAP.
You can query from outside SAP, is that your question?
No, you just confirm, like, we can query the cubes outside SAP, but the cubes definitions are created from inside SAP, correct?
Yeah.
All right, that can be done over the web. Well, over the net, or probably not from the web.
Yes.
Okay. And
That can be done through. Hello?
yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, that clarifies a lot for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other? Are there any other questions?
Besides the DI, does it require new development environment download to create add-on? The customized add-on?
Okay. Okay. If for SAP Business One for HANA, actually they have provided a tool called HANA Studio. Let me just show you. So when you go to SAP HANA, you no longer have SQL Server. That will be replaced with SAP HANA database. Okay, so this is the tool that SAP has provided. And if you will see at the bottom, under the content, here we can create and predefine those OLAP cubes. So let me just show you one example. So this is just only a predefined OLAP cube that we have created. Yeah, it's just only simple. We just only have a script, and after that, this particular script will result into your information. And from there, you can translate this either to a pervasive analytics, which is all the dashboard that they have shown just now, or you can publish this into interactive analysis in SAP Business One.
Okay, you mentioned that interactive analysis on SAP Cockpit does not include custom fields, but can you show us what can be still done with custom fields, please?
Okay, let me just clear that. What I mentioned just now was, on the enterprise search, you will not be able to get those custom fields. But if you are doing interactive analysis, if you are doing your dashboard designer, those user-defined fields, user-defined table are available for your analysis.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much. That's great news.
Thank you. Oh,
so we can do cubes now.
okay. Before we end the session, I just want to share to you one of the very cool stuff from SAP Business One. They call it SAP Lumira. So this is a BI tool which is powered by HANA. So if you can see from my screen, okay, so I'm logging into this particular Lumira. I have this data information extracted from my HANA as a OLAP cubes. So these are the information I can do analysis. Okay, so based on this particular information, I can do visualization here. Like in my example here, I have offices all over the world. Okay, so each and every bubble here representing sales revenue for every country, a gross margin. Okay, so the bigger the bubble, the bigger the gross margin for this particular country. So what I'm going to do is this particular information is showing throughout all the periods in this particular company. So I can just simply go to my data, okay, and narrow down my information to display only last quarter of 2011 and first quarter of 2012. So I want to do analysis for this particular period. So what I did is I have chosen that as my filter here. I click close. I go back to my analysis here. So at the second one, I can see analysis by period. So as you notice here, in this particular United States, the gross margin for last year, which is 2011 Q4, 2011 Q3, is much bigger than the current one, which is 2012 Q1 and 2012 Q1. Sorry. So what I'm trying to present here is last year's gross profit is much higher than this month's gross profit. Okay, so I managed to narrow it down to maybe I just want to concentrate on United States since this is your country. Okay, so I will concentrate on this. So here I can see that again my gross margin for last year in comparison to gross margin this year are much lesser. So using this particular tool, I can also create a different visualization whereby here I can clearly see that my margin for United States here, this column here, is declining. Okay, so I want to know which state in the United States. Okay, so I go back to my data. Okay, I will filter this to my country. Maybe I filtered into two, like United States and France. Okay, so let me just go back to my analysis, visualization. So here I can compare my United States and France. And here, indicating what are the cities under United States. So here on the right side, as the color fading, meaning my gross margin is declining. So what I did is I narrowed down to certain city like Travis, Texas, New York, Cook, and or Miami. Okay, so another presentation here. So now that I have identified which cities having this particular declining gross margin, so I want to find out why this gross margin is declining. So using again the power of HANA in this particular tool, I'll be able to compare, or I can able to do analysis whereby I want to compare my gross margin against my sales revenue. So in this particular diagram or graph, system is showing that this particular analysis for gross margin and sales revenue are declining together, meaning nothing wrong between your margin and your revenue. So another analysis that I have done is I have compared my gross margin and my discount. There I see that people have given more discount. As you can see on the red bar here, the discount is going up, but my gross margin is declining. Okay, so now this is one of the tools whereby I can easily identify what's wrong and what's happening in this particular country and this particular city. Another visualization that I have done is here. So part of my analysis is basically customer service or customer relationship. So in my data for OLAP cubes, I also have information on number of comments and number of issue reported. So I can also here, I can spot using this particular analysis or this particular tool that there are more issue reported for this year in comparison to last year. Okay, so now that I have identified this type of issue, okay, I have another analysis here whereby it's a waterfall. So what I did is I compare my gross margin versus my comments. So I can see here that one of the problems also, which is being raised to my company, is customer behavior of my personnel. So this is maybe one of the causes why my margin is declining for this particular country. So now that I have identified that I have this particular company or this particular country, this particular city has given more discount, I have more issue reported for this particular year. I have issues on behavior of my personnel. So now it's time for me to know who is the person in charge for this particular company. And I want to have a meeting and talk to this particular people. So I did an analysis by gross margin and who is the person in charge for that country. Then here I can see that this particular person, you see the bigger the letter of the bigger the text of this person, meaning you have bigger gross margin, and he's the person in charge for this particular country. So now I'll make a call to Leah Ahmad, or maybe I'll just go down there, or maybe I'll do a conference call and ask her why we have these particular issues. So this is just only a simple example of, again, presenting those sentiment data or those information and how easily you can translate this into a more meaningful presentation. Okay, so here, how easy we can just change. So SAP has already prepared all the different types of graphs that you can choose. It depends on how you want to use these graphs here. So in this particular presentation, I just did a graphical analysis, bar graph analysis, and some of the analysis here, like the pie chart and the waterfall. Yeah, thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Arun. We went a little bit out of scope, but what we wanted to show you was that there are additional tools that can heighten analytics and insight into both operational or transaction data and sentiment data. Do you still have any additional questions that we can help you with?
Hello.
I think.
Yeah.
Hello.
Quick question. You said, okay, so if I understand correctly, HANA is replacing our SQL server, and it's an in-memory database. How, in this case, does backup work? Just like, how would we back up our data in case of something?
Backup is still the same. In fact, now it's more reliable because you can set up your backup. The lowest is I think 5 minutes. 5 minutes, sorry. So yeah. So the backup is you will be using the HANA Studio to do the backup. So you can see here, these are all my data: SBO demo SG, SBO US. So this particular HANA Studio, here you can be able to do the. You can see here you have a backup here. under configuration. So this is, you can tell the system your intervals for your backup. The lowest that you can go is every 5 minutes.
Could you repeat the last sentence, please? The lowest?
The lowest backup interval is 5 minutes.
Okay. 5 minutes.
And backup goes onto the others. So although all transactional data resides in RAM, logging and backup are stored in the hard disk.
Hello?
Hi.
Did we answer your question?
Yeah, I believe so. So backup is done from inside HANA's studio, and it's going to a network. Is this local drive only, or is this can be a network location?
It will be stored into your HANA server logical drive, and from there, you create a script to push it to your NAS or to your network storage.
Yeah, hi. Basically, you can do a database backup by the HANA Studio, as my colleague said. But in case if you want the differential backup, you can do your special. You can fix up your backup on particular date and schedule it.
Did we answer your question?
Okay,
Yes.
think of Enterprise Manager as what you are more familiar now. In Enterprise Manager, we can also do maintenance backup. In SAP HANA, exactly the same, but it's much better because the interval backups that you can do is every 5 minutes. So that particular information or data file will be saved into your logical drive. So if you want to copy this one into your external drive or to your network attached storage, there is a script that can be done to push this particular backup out from the logical drive to your desired backup devices.